This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gator Light, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gator Light hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coach Unplugged. So excited you decided to join us today. Before I jump into the podcast, go over and leave a 5-star review. We really love those reviews. Leave some comments. I read all of them and we would really appreciate that. But before we get started, I definitely want to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine on the market, bar none. Mention Coach Unplugged, you get $450 off and you'll get the best customer service you'll ever expect. Just mention Coach Collins and they'll take really good care of you. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's something, you know, when I started teachhoops.com, it was what I would have wanted as a young coach before, you know, all the state championships and all the nationally ranked teams that I've coached. And not to brag, just to kind of tell kind of my journey, I would have killed for this stuff because it would have made my life so much easier. A little bit of everything that you need to become a better basketball coach. And we are the only people out there that offer 14-day free trial because we believe in it so much. Follow the roadmap, work on your craft, and you get me one-on-one mentoring. So I can't imagine anything better than that. I don't know. Anyway, go over and check it out and let's head off to the podcast. All right, welcome to Coach Unplugged. Episode I have no idea what episode we're on. So a lot, Austin, a lot. I'm gonna have you kind of introduce yourself, Coach, and just kind of explain and go through your kind of basketball journey. I love always having a variety of coaches, and especially someone that's an assistant coach now. Because it's a different perspective. I've got tons of questions that I'm going to ask, but why don't you walk us through your basketball journey, how you kind of got to the point, how you got into coaching and how you get to the point where you're coaching right now. So introduce yourself and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, man, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but man,
as far as you want. Don't go back to when you were born, but yes, as far as you want.
And I was actually a really good wrestler growing up. I'm from Dumas, Texas, right? And wrestling's pretty big up there in the panhandle of Texas. And they've had a lot of success there. So a lot of kids grow up in the wrestling program and doing that. And I was kind of a late person into basketball and even going into high school. And I really wasn't that good. I was on varsity my senior year. Was it? My high school basketball coach, just really good guy. He's won multiple state championships there in Texas at the 1A to 3A level there in Texas since then. And he's always been a resource for me. But I just wasn't really very good really in high school at basketball, honestly. I went to Tech, Texas Tech there in Lubbock, and studied in lots of things. I was a philosophy or psychology major. I was a business major, and I finally decided I don't like any of this stuff. I like sports. My brother-in-law, he was a basketball coach.
So
up
what
here in
is
San
what is
Francisco.
Tech known for? Like, what's their school known for? What is their like? Are they known for a specific thing? Like people go to Tech rather than Texas for a reason, or is it geographical or what?
Um, well, I could tell you what some people say.
Okay.
It could be considered a party school.
Oh, Tech is?
Kind of like Arizona State. I've always kind of seen like those two schools are the top party schools, but
Okay.
that wasn't me. That's not why I went there. Um,
But it
it's
doesn't have like Wisconsin is a great engineering school. It's a great agricultural school. Obviously, that's where their Wisconsin ice cream is. That anyway, they have a whole thing on science of ice cream. Anyway, but
yeah.
is Tech known for something, or is it just why is it called Texas Tech? Is it like
It started off as Texas Technical College is what it was,
oh okay
uh, and that's that's beyond my expertise of why
okay
that is. But I just know that's how it started off, and
okay
but they have
okay
a really big medical program now.
okay
I mean, it's really big
okay
here at Texas,
okay?
their medical program.
And where is Texas Tech? Where is that located in the state?
That's in Lubbock.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
So that's where I am now. So
Okay. So, oh yeah, you're in town. Okay. So what happened when you graduated then?
yeah, so I kind of helped my brother-in-law out a little bit in the summer, and I realized that this is really what I want to do. I like coaching basketball. This is something I actually enjoy. So I applied for a bunch of different jobs in the state, throughout the state, and as I was looking, I came across a wrestling job in my hometown in Dumas. So I thought, why not? I'll go ahead and apply for it just in case nothing else happens. And they ended up calling me back the very next day and asked me to come interview. Nobody else had called me back yet. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll come interview. And I came and interviewed, and they offered me the job pretty much on the spot. Again, I didn't have any other calls from anywhere else. So I said, I guess I'm a wrestling coach. So, and I lived at home there with my parents and saved money. And it was a pretty good gig there. But after a couple of years, I loved it. I loved the wrestling. They had tons of success. It was a lot of fun. And man, you just don't really know tough until you see some wrestlers.
Oh,
Um,
trust me, I know. Yeah, it's yes, I agree.
yeah.
So you applied in the entire state of Texas?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All over pretty much.
Okay, first of all, I've driven across Texas from east to west. Texas is a long freaking state. Like it's like driving from I tell people the only thing that's close is when you drive through Illinois. Like Illinois is long. Like when you go from north to south in Illinois, hell, you're just like it's the only thing that's come ever close to like, are we still in Texas? Are we still in
Right.
Texas? It's like
Yeah.
it's true. It is whoa. That's like applying to 5 states, to be honest with you, in some respects.
That's fine. I've never thought about that. Yeah.
It is. It's like if you live on the East Coast and you like Washington or Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Maine, and it's like all those are so condensed, but Texas is just so big. All right. So then what happened after the wrestling gig?
Yeah. So actually, when I got the job there in Dumas, the next day, the school I'm at right now, Lubbock-Cooper, called me and asked if I wanted to interview, and I said, I'm sorry, I already took a job. So that's kind of interesting there. But so I did wrestling for 2 years, and then I jumped over to the boys side, and I was an assistant boys basketball for 3 years, and I really loved that. And then the girls' head job opened up, and I was really wanting to move up, and really felt like I was ready to do that. So I applied for that, and I was got the head job there for the girls basketball program in Dumas. I did that for 3 years. They had graduated 8 seniors when I took over. So pretty much everybody. So, I mean, we had to start from scratch. We won 8 games my first year, and then 10, and then 15 my last year, and kind of tied for the district championship my last year.
And what was hard about doing that at that point in your coaching career? What was hard about that?
Oh man, well, first of all, it was my hometown, so I mean, there's some expectation there, and everybody knows you, and it's a blessing and a curse in some ways too, right? Because
Right.
everybody does know who you are, and But it's also good because you know everybody. If you need something, it's easy to ask.
Right.
Ask. But man, I made a lot of mistakes. Of course, being first year head coach, I'd be surprised if anybody didn't make a lot of mistakes. But
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. That's why I asked the question, because it's just hard to it's hard the first time. It's hard when you're just kind of, until you get thrown in the deep end, you don't know how to swim. Sometimes it's like,
right.
holy crud. All right, so you're there for 3 years. You were pretty, looks like you're pretty successful building a program. That's what happens. Hopefully you win more games each year. Then what?
Yeah, well, and so I ended up applying for another job, kind of just going to be a better basketball situation moving forward at a town pretty close by. Their coach had retired or was going to retire, and he called me up and said, "Hey, you need to come here. You need to apply for this job. You're going to get your kids all the time. You're going to get gym space, and all the sorts of things that we fight as head coaches." And it was a good, better teaching situation, and all sorts of things like that. So
Right.
decided to go ahead and
what do you teach? Sorry to interrupt. What do you teach?
Oh, you did? World history.
World history. You teach AP World?
I've done some AP World. Right now, I'm not doing. I'm just doing on level. They call it.
Oh, yeah. Regular. Yeah. And okay, so sorry for basketball coaches listening to this. This is the teacher talking to another teacher. When do you teach AP? When do you teach world history in high school? What year?
So right now we're freshmen. There's freshmen. When I was in Dumas, they taught it as sophomores.
Yeah, we teach it as sophomores.
They had that base of geography knowledge as freshmen.
Yeah.
You could get them as sophomores and teach them world history. Right now get them in as freshmen. It's tough.
Yeah. Just the reading part too and stuff. Yeah, I can see that.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Propel Fitness Water. With Gatorade electrolytes, zero sugar, and vitamins, Propel hydrates better than water to help you get the most out of your workout and get back to your best self. What propels you? Propel with Gatorade electrolytes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Let's get back to it. So, all right. So what happened? So keep going in that journey.
Yeah. So I applied for that job, and the coach actually unretired. That was right in 2020, in the midst of COVID.
Right.
So he got a little nervous. I think that he wasn't going to be able to, get what he wanted to get after that, other jobs and stuff. So he unretired, and so I couldn't apply for that job. But that just kind of opened the doors up for other stuff, and applied for another head job somewhere else. And then this job here at Lubbock-Cooper opened up, and I just knew how successful they had been. And when it came across, me and my wife just had that real excited feeling of Lubbock. We met here at college at Tech here in Lubbock. Spent a lot of time here, a lot of good memories here in Lubbock, and it just felt right,
Right.
And it felt like something we needed to do. And I have two kids right now, a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So they were both 3 years younger then, and it felt like the right decision, and I haven't regretted it one second. And I mean, it's been so much fun being here. It's been amazing.
Yeah. So sometimes it's gut. I tell people it's gut. You got to go with your gut on this stuff. Like, what is your gut saying should you take it? Should you not? Because I always get to ask that question, and it's like, the feeling is the best way to do it. Sometimes you just kind of just know, like, yeah, that feels good. That doesn't feel good. I just think that's what you got to kind of lean into that. What do you think the hardest part about being an assistant coach is?
Oh, I think it's taking your ego out of it.
Mhm.
You know, being a head coach too, you know, I've got that perspective also. And you definitely have things you like, things you don't like, ways you like doing things, terminology you like to use. But you gotta push that to the side, because it's about the kids. And, you know, that's what we do it for. We want them to be successful. And you can't, if you show any of that, you know, little doubt, right? The kids are going to jump all over it, and they feel it, and they're pretty smart.
Right,
You
they
know,
are.
pretty intuitive sometimes.
That's a teacher talking too. It's like if they see blood in the water, they're going to start circling.
Oh
Like
yeah, oh yeah,
I always tell the young teachers, just remember, you know more than they did.
yeah.
You know more than they did. I don't care. You know, there's exceptions to that rule, but not very often. Like just fake it till you make it. But you gotta, yeah. It's how you handle yourself. So what's the hardest part? What's the hardest part about dealing with the players? Like, is there something specifically that as an assistant rather than a head you see as a difficulty or a plus for dealing with the players?
Yeah, I think there's different ways you can interact with them, and each player kind of sometimes picks a coach, and that's not always the head coach that
Yeah,
they
that
like.
is true. That is true. There's a bond. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But you never want to. I think the hard thing kind of is sometimes towing the line between stepping over your boundary, you know, of what you should say and shouldn't say. Or you know, maybe a coach had told this kid, "Hey, we're not shooting that shot," you know, or "We're not doing that. We're not making that pass, or we're not making that play, or we're not defending that kid like that. We're not helping off of this kid." And if you didn't know that, or maybe you didn't hear that conversation, or you weren't aware of that, and then you're trying to tell the kid, "Hey, this is what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to do this," and you're like, kids said, "Well, coach told me to do this." Like, "Oh, yeah, do that."
It is, and that's what I tell young. That's what I tell coaches are coming in, especially initially, is you got to kind of sit back and watch.
Right.
From someone that was an assistant coach for 10 years before I got my head job, because I know what I think, but I don't know what he thinks or she thinks, and I don't, like you said, I don't want to step on. Maybe they want to front the post, and I think we should 3/4 the post, whatever. I got to figure out. So we got to be reading out of the same book is basically what I'm saying. And if you want to be active, you want to be involved, you can bring energy. There's things you can do, but when you're getting down to the minutia, unless you sat and talked a lot of X's and O's, he's got to be really careful. I agree. Yeah. Is there, so this is a unique question I tend to ask. Is there a coaching failure? Is there a time where maybe you were outcoached? I can think of one I did last year that you could share to help another coach that's listening.
Man, it feels like they tend to happen early in the year.
Yeah, why is that? I know it's because we're not sharp. I think. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Man, it's like we're trying to get. I just got this play in, or I just got this offense in, or this press break in, and then all of a sudden this team's doing something we haven't seen yet, and we just weren't prepared for. And like, well, yeah, I know, guys, we came in with this plan, and this is what we've seen, and they didn't do that. You know, and it's being prepared for stuff like that. I think is important, but you just can't always be prepared, right? You just can't.
I'm telling you, I lost in a state finals. Team hadn't zoned the whole year. I had every tape all year. They hadn't zoned. And we got up a little bit and they zoned us. And we had a zone offense in and we've worked on it, but we didn't spend that week getting ready for zones because, you know, we worked on it, but that wasn't our, and it's like, it just threw us just enough. It's like, you're right. You got to prepare because you don't know. It's a chess match. I agree. It's a chess match.
There's one specifically I can remember my first year coaching there in Dumas as head coach. We had a point guard. I think she was a sophomore at the time. Really good player. She ended up going and playing community college. And the team we were playing was one of the top 10 teams in 3A in Texas. And we went to their place. and they're a run and jump team, and really good run and jump team, very athletic, especially for their level. They might have.
How do they run that? Was there a specific rule? Could you tell how they run it? Because there's so many different ways of running run and jump.
Right. I mean, they definitely want to try to influence you to the sideline. They kind of let you get in. There's a lot of pressure. I mean, they'd pressure you, but it wasn't just a strict denial. But they'd force you to the base, to the sideline. We'd try to clear them out, and that was successful early on. But then they said, you know what? If you're going to do that, we're just going to early trap, and they just started doubling her right off the catch. And she was really our primary ball handler. We didn't have many others that could really handle the ball much at all. And man, I just felt kind of lost, I'm gonna lie, and I felt pretty bad, and I had to apologize to her because I mean, you just almost left her out to dry. And
Right.
you got to beat it. I don't know what to tell you. You got to do it. And I've always kind of felt bad about that one. I've gotten better at stuff like that. But
I know, and we all have those. Especially if you coach long enough. It's like, oh, I wish I could go back to that one, and oh, I should have done this, and yeah, and that's part of it. And if you don't have that, then I'd take up curling or read books or something, because then you're not reflecting on your coaching. And I think you really have to do that. What would you tell your younger self? What would you tell your head coach self? What would you, if you could go in a time machine and talk to yourself before that first prep, what would you say? What would be your advice?
Oh man, I think I'd have to write a book for all of that, and then hope I'd read it. That's tough. There's oh man, so many things. I think probably the biggest thing is just to stick with something. We tried so many different things, and I knew that coming in, and try to be good at one thing.
And what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by you were trying? Dive into that more. What do you mean by that?
I think we came in trying to throw darts, grab a handful of darts and throw at the target and see if anything sticks. Right. And, probably tried to do that a little too long, trying to figure out, is this what we need to do? Is this what fits this team? Is this it? Is this it? Do we need to do this? And at some point I just needed to pick one and go with it and, get better at it. And, you never would, you don't want to, beat a dead horse, right? You got to know when to punt on things also, but also you're never going to get good at anything just by doing it.
It's such a fine line. That's such a fine line between, like, this year our offense wasn't doing it, and we had to throw it out and revamp, and we were winning, but it just wasn't what it needed to be. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe. We would really appreciate that. Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen. Those 5-star reviews mean a ton to us. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Have a great day.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown, because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon, and it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.